But let's start with the big story that continues from the Kashmir Valley. As unrest continues in the valley for a 48-day, Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti today addressed a joint press conference with the Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh. The Home Minister reached out to all parties for a dialogue, also promised to look for an alternative to pellet guns. But in the middle of the press conference, an angry Chief Minister, Mehbooba Mufti, lost her cool when she was confronted with questions on civilian deaths. And she hit back, claiming that just 5% of Kashmiris are inciting trouble. The question we want to ask tonight, is Mehbooba the right leader for a Kashmir Valley in a crisis?
पथराव से, कैंपों पे हमला करने से कोई मसला हल होने वाला नहीं है। थैंक यू वेरी मच। चले।
Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti losing her cool, retorting aggressively to a scribe who drew parallel between the current unrest and the 2010 turmoil in the valley.
2010 में जो हुआ उसका रीजन था। आप इन दो चीजों को मत मिलाइए। उस वक्त सरकार का एक रीजन था लोगों का कि फेक एनकाउंटर में सिविलियन मारे गए।
As the unrest in the valley entered its 48th day, Mehbooba Mufti addressed a joint conference with Home Minister Rajnath Singh.
95% लोग पीसफुल तरीके से इसका रेजोल्यूशन चाहते हैं। दैट मींस देयर इज अ पॉलिटिकल प्रॉब्लम। मगर 5% लोगों ने इसको हाईजैक किया है। उस वक्त की सरकार ने, उमर साहब ने कहा ये हिंदुस्तान के खिलाफ है, ये एंटी नेशनल है। मगर इस तरह पथराव से, कैंपों पे हमला करने से कोई मसला हल होने वाला नहीं है। थैंक यू वेरी मच। चले। बहुत शुक्रिया।
छोटे छोटे बच्चे, 17 साल, 18 साल, 15 साल, 20 साल के नौजवान, उनके हाथों में कंप्यूटर, कलम, बुक्स होनी चाहिए। कौन लोग हैं जो उन्हें इजाजत देते हैं पत्थर उठाने की?
On the final day of his two-day visit and in face of harsh criticism over the use of pellet guns, Rajnath gave a 3-point formula for the violence-hit valley.
हम लोग इस पेलेट गन का एक विकल्प, इसका अल्टरनेटिव देंगे। हम हिंदुस्तान का फ्यूचर यदि बनाना चाहते हैं तो कश्मीर का फ्यूचर नहीं बनेगा तो हिंदुस्तान का भी फ्यूचर नहीं बन सकता।
So far, 70 people have lost lives and more than 7,000, including 3,000 security personnel, have been injured in ongoing clashes across Kashmir.
Unrest fire seems to be deepening into rural areas of Kashmir. Separatist parties have also extended shutdown calls till September 1st. Home Minister Rajnath Singh's visit seemed to be lacking in clarity as to what really was the political strategy of the government in terms of reaching out to those who are angry. In all this, a huge question mark hangs over the success of Modi government's Mission Kashmir. With cameraman Roof, Shujaul Haq in Srinagar for India Today.
Before I move ahead, I want to focus on Mehbooba Mufti. Remember, the daughter of Mufti Muhammad Saeed, she is the one who is in the hot seat. And today, as the press conference continued, she lost her cool more than once. Listen in.
2010 में जो हुआ उसका रीजन था, there was a fake encounter in Mathal, जहां 3 सिविलियन मारे गए। उसके बाद देयर वर एलिगेशंस ऑफ रेप एंड मर्डर शुपियान में। उसके बाद क्रिकेट, मेरी बात करने दो, क्रिकेट खेलते हुए, दैट मींस देयर वाज अ रीजन लोगों के एंगर का था। आज एक एनकाउंटर हुआ जैसे होते हैं, 3 मिलिटेंट मारे गए, उसमें सरकार का क्या कसूर था? लोग सड़कों पे आ गए, हमने कर्फ्यू लगाया। बच्चा क्या आर्मी कैंप टॉफी खरीदने गया? 15 साल का लड़का क्या दबाल हाजीपोरा में जब उसने हमला किया पुलिस स्टेशन पे, वो दूध लेने गया? मैं कह रही हूँ, एक मिनट बात करने दीजिए। मैं कह रही हूँ 95% कश्मीर के लोग पीसफुल मीन से हल चाहते हैं, डायलॉग से चाहते हैं। मगर 5% लोग, क्योंकि बदकिस्मती से जो मिसक्रेंट्स हैं हमारे बच्चों को शील्ड बना के फौजी कैंपस में हमला करवाते हैं। वो चाहते हैं कि छोटे बच्चे मर जाएं, अंधे हो जाएं। आपको समझ नहीं आती? क्या कहेंगे सर? सर ये जो बच्चे हैं मैंने इनको चाकू से निकाला है जब टास्क फोर्स की जिप्सी को देख के भागते थे, जब इनको वहां बेगार के लिए ले जाते थे, घास काटने ले जाते थे। इन बच्चों को, साउथ कश्मीर के बच्चों को मैंने निकाला है उस मुसीबत से, जब इनका कार्ड चेक किया जाता है। आज उनको कुछ लोगों ने भट्टी में डाल दिया है अपने नाजायज मकासद के लिए। मैं कश्मीर के इशू के साथ हूँ, रिजॉल्व होना चाहिए, डायलॉग होना चाहिए, मगर इस तरह पथराव से, कैंपों पे हमला करने से कोई मसला हल होने वाला नहीं है। थैंक यू वेरी मच। चले बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत
Tough words from Mehbooba Mufti. A Mehbooba Mufti that we haven't really seen from healing touch. She's now talking tough. Joining me now, Sambit Patra, the national spokesperson of the BJP, Suhail Bukhari, media consultant to the government of J&K, C.R. Keswan, the spokesperson of the Congress, and Manoj Joshi, who's written a major book on Kashmir, a distinguished fellow at the Observer Research Foundation. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. My big question, of course, is Mehbooba Mufti the right person to lead Kashmir at this sensitive time? I want to ask you first, Sambit Patra, because you are the ruling party's ally there. Do you believe what you saw today in the press conference gives you confidence that Mehbooba Mufti is the right person to lead Jammu and Kashmir, to lead the valley at a time like this?
Rajdeep, very respectfully, it is not for spokespersons of political parties or debates to decide as to who should be the ruling chief minister or who should be the prime minister of a country. It is for a democratic electioneering process in a country like India, which decides whether a person is fit to rule the country and the state or not. And I believe it is because of this electioneering process, in a democratic process in Jammu and Kashmir, that Mehbooba Mufti was elected as a chief minister. So I am not the one to bear any answers as to whether she is fit or not. People of Jammu and Kashmir felt she is fit, and that's the reason as to why she is the chief minister today.
I won't persist at the moment with you because I want to go first also to Suhail Bukhari, because you are directly connected as media consultant to the government of J&K. Did we see today a conscious change in the attitude of Mehbooba Mufti, who in the past has spoken of the healing touch, even reaching out to separatists, to militants? Today she made it very clear that only 5% of Kashmiris, she believes, are behind the stone pelters. She believes children are being put forward by those who want to fuel fire in the valley, and she insists that she will continue to talk tough against those 5%. Is this a conscious change that we have seen in Mehbooba Mufti today?
Well, Rajdeep, there is absolutely no change of attitude per se, because Mehbooba Mufti and her stance remains what it used to be earlier. You talked about her position of political engagement, including everybody, whether it be even separatists. That remains the same as well, because she has been saying it all through, and she reiterated it today also, that there would be dialogue, there would be engagement, and it would be with everyone. And of
but
course,
today she said very clearly, that the stone pelters effectively are being sponsored. She seemed to suggest that the stone pelters are being effectively sponsored by external elements. She made it very clear that 2016 is not 2010. She is effectively claiming that this entire agitation is not a popular agitation. Only 5% of Kashmiris are behind it in Srinagar and a few surrounding districts. That was not what she would say in 2010.
Well, Rajdeep, 5% of the listen, 5% of the population of Kashmir Valley is quite a number. And if you imagine that huge number on streets, it would of course give you an idea of the magnitude that we are talking about. Again, when she talked about the issue per se, it's an issue which has been recognized by not only these 5% but the whole of 100%. The difference is that 95% of the population wants the resolution of this problem through the process of reconciliation and political engagement, while as the 5% believe that violence is the way to deal with this issue. Again, it's only a handful of people, because remember, Rajdeep, you have covered Jammu and Kashmir for long. You would know that Kashmir is a multi-layered problem, and the number of hands that are playing in is, whether they be visible or those who are not visible, there are so many players in, and therefore to attribute this whole issue to one black and white canvas would not be correct. There are players who are into it, who are vitiating the atmosphere. Because remember, at the end of the day, there's a political problem which needs to be resolved, and the moment the element of violence comes in, you would see even those who are ready to, willing to come in and work out a resolution may be taking a back seat. And there are people who do not want the issue to be resolved.
Can we focus on Mehbooba Mufti, please?
Atmosphere to remain vitiated.
I want to understand Mehbooba Mufti's mind. Manoj Joshi, you have seen Mehbooba Mufti for years. I want to understand, are we now seeing Mehbooba Mufti finally realizing that being in the opposition is one thing? Once you're in government, then it becomes that much more difficult to walk this tightrope walk that she has done in Jammu and Kashmir for several years now.
I think you're 100% right. This is a process which I think all politicians go through. Only thing is that the Kashmir situation is such that the fires are much hotter. Meaning, we know how Omar Abdullah had to go through it in 2008, 2010. You know, he was pitchforked into it, had to deal with it. Many of us would say that he didn't deal with it too well. Likewise, Mehbooba will be judged. Now the point is out here that, like it or not, a transition has happened in Kashmir. In the case of Omar, while Farooq was still alive, he became the successor. In the case of Mehbooba, she succeeded because Mufti Saab passed away. Now the point is that PDP had positioned itself in a certain area which one could call soft separatism, as they said. Mehbooba herself in her press conference has referred to how she helped people in the past and how she had dealt with the situation as an opposition leader. Now she is the boss, meaning she is the chief minister. And certainly I think that this is a testing time, and how she comes out of it will actually determine her political future.
But the question is, at a time like this, can a chief minister afford to lose her cool in public? At a time like this, can a chief minister afford to lose her cool in public? It seems to suggest that the pressure is getting to her.
No, you know, look, come on. If she would be only too human, meaning look at the situation that she's confronting. Look where she comes from. She's confronting the situation. I'm not surprised that she lost her cool in public. I don't grudge her that. Meaning you can lose your cool in public. She comes from a certain background. She has a certain history. The issue is, where does she go from here? Now this is something which, you know, a lot of it is a matter of speculation. But what...
I'll tell you what the speculation is. Sorry to interrupt. I tell you, one of the speculations is that Mehbooba Mufti is already preparing the ground, if necessary, to withdraw from this alliance, if necessary, to pull out if it comes to that. I just want to tell that that is one of the speculations. The talk of governor's rule is being bandied about in some quarters in the national capital as the only solution for Kashmir at the moment. But C.R. Keswan, as a spokesperson of the Congress, is the Congress party also going to now fish in troubled waters, or will you support Mehbooba Mufti, a party with which you've had an alliance in the past? Does she suddenly become persona non grata because she is now with the BJP?
No, Rajiv, as far as the Congress is concerned, we've been consistently advocating the imperative need to have a genuine outreach so that normalcy returns to the valley. And I think, we always...
But you, and sorry to intervene again, but you and Omar Abdullah have been non-cooperative. The Congress and Omar Abdullah have been non-cooperative. You have not cooperated with Mehbooba Mufti.
If you don't interrupt me, Rajiv, I'll complete. We raised this issue in Rajya Sabha. Unfortunately, the Prime Minister chose not to speak about it in Parliament. The Congress party has always been advocating a dialogue, and we've always said all the stakeholders, reach out to them, listen to them, and also listen to the grievances. And today, let's not do one-upmanship. Today, the Home Minister, this government has woken up after 48 days of curfew. Nearly 70 people have died and about 8,000 people have been injured. We welcome this, but this should not be, the Home Minister has to adhere to his words. He should move beyond empty rhetoric and ensure that there is a dialogue and all the stakeholders are spoken to. But the problem, Rajdeep, you talked about our support. See, the problem is with the inherent contradiction and the crushing conflicts within the Faustian alliance between PDP and BJP. The BJP is ruling in the center. They are also in government with the PDP in Kashmir. And see, I saw your program yesterday. It was the stark difference. What Muzaffar Beg Saab said yesterday. There was no consonance. There was no common ground between him and the
Sambit
BJP.
Patra, you made the point.
It is up to them.
You made the point, sir. You're calling it a Faustian alliance, but let's get Sambit Patra. Sambit Patra, what's becoming clear? Look at the chemistry also today, if I may be used, between Rajnath Singh and Mehbooba Mufti. It was almost as if Mehbooba Mufti had taken over that press conference. That Rajnath Singh was not the Home Minister, Mehbooba Mufti effectively was going to speak and was going to direct. Just take a look at those images. It seems clear that the BJP is confronted with a restive ally, with an ally at the moment who's faced with a very difficult situation in India's most sensitive part of the country. How long can this alliance sustain if you say one thing in Delhi and one thing in Srinagar?
Rajdeep, don't worry, and Keshavan also, Mr. Keshavan, don't worry. This alliance will sustain its due course, and this alliance will prove to be a successful alliance.
This alliance will last the full 6 years? This alliance will last the full 6 years?
Surely this alliance, take my words, Mr. Rajdeep Sardesai, this alliance will last the full 6 years. Despite the fact that many do not want it to continue, many meaning those who are in opposition, those who in fact have been grudging this politically, but despite that, I assure you it will continue. What has been very amusing, Rajdeep, is since this Kashmir crisis has taken place recently, our political opponents, though they are making politically correct noises and sounds, but what it appears from within, and what is quite evident now, is that they cannot in fact swallow the fact that Bharatiya Janata Party and PDP have come together to form a government, and then they're successfully running a government. Initially they tried to bring out facts like, well, there is a big cleavage between the two alliance partners. Mehbooba Mufti does not support what the centre says. She wants talk with the separatists. She is with the stone pelters. She was against the encounter of Burhan Wani. Today, in fact, Mehbooba Mufti put lid to all these rumors. She said it was a genuine encounter. Government kya karti agar Burhan Wani ko nahi marti to. This was what the opposition was thinking will play to us, will play against us. They were thinking they would spread rumors that Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti does not stand with Bharatiya Janata Party central government. But contrary to all this, today she has put lid to all these rumors, and this shows that both these parties together, PDP and BJP, will move together.
Mr. Keswan, quick response.
10 seconds.
Yes.
10 seconds, Keshavan, you can take on from there. 10 seconds, I beg you for 10 seconds. Keshavan, just 10 more important 10 seconds, a very important point. Remember, Mr. Keshavan, I was hearing your leader, Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad, on the floor of the parliament the very first day when he spoke about Kashmir, and he gave away the whole game when he said that for 200 to 300 years to come, people in Valley will not accept BJP. Remember, the issue of Jammu and Kashmir is not just the issue of Valley. It is the issue of Ladakh, it is the issue of Jammu, it is the issue of Valley as well as POK. So when you say that 200 and 300 years we will not be accepted by Valley, then please get it right. Democracy.
Quick response, Mr. Keswan. I'm running out of time. Your 10 seconds are up, Sambit Patra. Quick response from you, Mr. Keswan.
First thing is, the Congress party doesn't look at it as a game or a statistic like Mr. Sambit Patra says. It is very clear their agenda of alliance, the cornerstone on which they have this Faustian deal is in tatters, which is one of the main reasons why the situation in Kashmir has been aggravated and it's been simmering. That is an undeniable fact. And let me just give you one example. Yesterday, again I'll reiterate Muzaffar Beg, whether it was 370 or beef eating politics, or that was it's a complete
Can I just intervene, Mr. Keswan, just a minute? Can I intervene? You made that point before. Sir, you made the point. No, you made the point. You made the point that this is an unholy alliance.
No, one point. No, you gave a lot of time to them, Rajdeep. I just want to ask one question. The PDP MLA Mushtaq Ahmed from Tral said, Burhan Wani is a pious and great man, while the BJP, who's in government with them, calls him a terrorist. Please let them address this issue. They don't even have common ground on an incident.
Suhail Bukhari,
has already spoken.
No, just a minute. No.
Why don't you hear
Suhail
the Chief
Bukhari,
Minister?
I want to get a straight point. Yes, exactly. Sir, just a minute. Suhail Bukhari, I want a straight answer to a final straight question. Today in the press conference, Mehbooba Mufti made it clear that this entire agitation has come as a result of what she said was an encounter where the government or the security forces had no choice. Am I to understand that she's finally putting a lid to that controversy as to how the government of the PDP today sees Burhan Wani? They see him as a terrorist and he was killed in an encounter. Yes or no?
Well, Rajiv, again, as much I would have liked that this issue should not have come up yet again, it's good that it has, and let's try and close this chapter once for all. The facts of that case are that Burhan Wani was a Hizbul Mujahideen commander. He was operating in South Kashmir for several years, and again, going back, he became a militant per se in the first instance because of the humiliation that he had suffered at the hands of the forces in 2010 when Omar Abdullah was head of the Congress National Conference Alliance government in the state. And that's the year when we saw 120 odd people being killed, which was a result of a fake encounter in Masil where 3 civilians were taken, lured, they were told they would be given jobs, and were later killed and dubbed as foreign militants. Coming back to the operation that saw Burhan Wani being killed, it was a routine security operation. Such operations take place every now and then, whether it be in the
Chief Minister didn't say that a month ago, so she has changed her mind. The Chief Minister and PDP MLAs did not call it a routine operation. Now they are calling it that.
Rajiv, what did they say? Again, let me tell you one thing, Rajdeep, let me also tell you one important aspect. This is for the first time that I'm participating in a debate as the consultant for media for the Jammu and Kashmir. And before that, I have been reporting for the national television networks for a decade and a half from Srinagar, and I've reported for your channel as well. And let me tell you that my experience as a citizen of Jammu and Kashmir working for the national media and an observer has been that we tend to take statements as they suit us, and in the long run we end up harming the interest of the people as well as the national interest.
Okay.
Same was the case in this case as well. Mehbooba Mufti in the first instance said that she was told that it was an encounter wherein he was killed, and it came to her knowledge once this operation was over. And she said, and let me again repeat, that the whole idea in this case has been that earlier agitations like 2010, which we are trying to draw a comparison with today, had a cogent reason. You saw a fake encounter flaring up the passions. In this case, it was an encounter. Burhan Wani was a militant. He fought with the security forces and got killed. But
okay, let's leave it there. Mr. Bukhari, I'm leaving it there.
Before that, 2 months ago, we saw people telling us that we would create a 2008 and 2010 like situation, and they were looking for a chance, they utilized it, and here we are.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. I'm glad to see that political parties are nuancing their opinions now compared to what the situation was 48 days ago. I appreciate my panelists joining us. Have we seen the birth of a new Mehbooba Mufti? Is the big question that we should be raising. Are we seeing a new leader, much more tough talking? Is it enough though to provide the healing touch? Can she really lead Jammu and Kashmir in a crisis? Is a question we will continue to raise.